G'day, Dan here from awebsitedesigner.com.au. This is video 2 out of 3 in our video training series on website traffic for small business. In this video, I will be introducing you to our simple traffic plan. I'll talk about the 3 parts to a good traffic strategy, and I will start into the 3 parts looking at part 1, the website, and part 2, your job as a small business owner to generate traffic. And in the third video, we'll look at how you can use third-party expertise. So let's go into it. Cool, so website traffic for small business, video 2. In this video, I'm going to be going through our simple traffic plan and talking about the 3 parts to a good website traffic strategy. And I'll be specifically going into the detail of part 1, the website, and part 2, your job. So, our simple traffic plan. Just before I get into this, I want to just talk briefly about a few things. One is that when you run an e-commerce site, typically the ways you get traffic will be vastly different to a typical small business website. And I've got my own e-commerce sites, and I have a traffic model on those sites that is totally different to a normal small business site. So this traffic model really is just for a typical sort of small business, not necessarily selling products online, although it'll work for selling products online, but for a dedicated e-commerce store, you would want to look at some other ways of generating traffic. Another thing to think about is some industries will have very different behaviors and traffic sources, and one industry might have some sort of community where loads and loads of your target buyers might hang out, and that might be the best traffic source. It might be a really easy traffic source to tap into. So you've got to think about those industry-specific things when thinking about getting traffic to your site. The other thing to think about is, despite what you read, most good traffic will cost you time and or money, probably both. So the 3 components of a basic traffic strategy are firstly to have a website that converts traffic into customers. And there's really no sense in spending that time and money on getting traffic to your website if when they get there, they're not going to be converted into a customer. And a good website will work out who is the person who is ready to buy right now, and it will do a great job at converting that person into a buyer. And without that, it's really money wasted because traffic can be expensive. So the second part of it is a business that does their part, and a lot of clients will come to me and ask me to build them a website. And after building the website, they'll say, okay, so how do we get some traffic to this website? I'm not getting any traffic to this website. And, I will say, well, what have you done to get people going to the website? And it's sort of a misunderstood thing that if you build a website that people will come, but that's not the case. And there's a huge chunk of a traffic plan that needs to be implemented by the business owner. And I'm going to be spending quite a bit of time on that in this video. The third part of the traffic strategy is relying on a third party to help you with that specialist stuff that is really difficult to do yourself. And if you saw video 1, you would have seen the complexity of some of that SEO, that chart that demonstrated the SEO work that goes on, and you'll quickly realize that doing that stuff yourself is very, very difficult. So they're the 3 components. Let's move on to part 1, the website. I'm going to say this very quickly because I've written about this in depth in another ebook which you'll find on awebsitedesigner.com.au called 8 Features of Great Small Business Websites. And in that ebook I go into the details of what you need to do to have a great website. But one of them is your website needs to be successful at 1, getting people to consume your content, which is basically having great content that people want to read, watch, or listen to. 2, getting them to connect with you in some way. So if people like your content, then provide the facility for them to sign up to your newsletter or to like you on Facebook or to follow you on Twitter, and get that connection there so that you're not relying on them to manually come back to the site. They will know what you're up to because they'll be following you. They will have opted in, and at a time when they are ready to refer you or ready to buy from you, then you'll be there, and your site should be set up to convert them into a customer, and that's the end goal. So part 2 is looking at what your job is to get traffic to your own website, and this is a really, really important part of the traffic strategy. So what I'll do here is I'll begin to build the traffic plan, and eventually once you've gone through all the videos, you'll see this traffic plan forms into a simple PDF that you can download and take to your provider and sort of say, okay, this is what we want to do to get traffic to our site. But in this video, we're just looking at your job. So there's a few things that I think fall into the hands of a small business owner that they should be doing if they want to get maximum traffic to their website. The first is all the traditional stuff. So things like offline advertising, PR news, networking, trade shows, letter drops, whatever it is about your business, however you go about advertising, whether you're advertising in Yellow Pages, whatever you're doing that is considered an offline or a traditional method, those sorts of advertising should have calls to action to get people to go to the website if that's what your goal is, and that could represent a very big chunk of your website visitors. Even just meeting someone, giving them a business card, making it obvious where the website is, that will turn up as a direct visit to the website, and that will form a big component of the people visiting your website. Now, content marketing is something that really needs to be addressed in its own video or series of videos, but to put simply, content marketing is about establishing yourself as the expert. So if you look at my blog, you will see lots of blog posts, you'll see lots of free resources, videos, all sorts of stuff that I've done to try and establish myself as a small business web design expert. In every industry, there are experts, and you will see what they are doing. They're doing a great newsletter. They've got loads of followers on their blog and subscribers. They're on YouTube. They've got videos. They're producing newsworthy content, and you see them in the media. You see them in other publications and guest blogging on other blogs, and maybe they've got their own podcast. There's loads of things you can do to create awesome content, and that awesome content will attract people to your website. It will encourage them to stay there, and as you will see as we get further down these videos, it will be an absolutely critical part of your search engine optimization strategy. So content marketing is twofold. It's producing the content and it's promoting the product, the content, and your job is to produce the content. There's no sense outsourcing all of this to a virtual assistant, because you are the expert. People will know the difference between videos of you and videos of your VA, or blog posts by you or blog posts of your VA. This is about your top tier content that you put out there in your own name to set yourself up as the expert, and there's no one that can do that better than you. Social media is another really, really important part of what it is to be your job of getting traffic to your site, and this, along with content marketing, ends up forming a really important part of search engine optimization down the track as well. So when I'm talking about social media here, I'm talking about the natural social media stuff. So having a Facebook account, being active on Facebook, being active on Twitter, retweeting people's posts, commenting, putting your own blog posts on Twitter, so you're getting that networking. Forums are a great social experience, and if you're helping people out on forums and you're setting yourself up as an expert, then that will get traffic through to your site, and I get a lot of traffic to my site from forums. And other blogs is another great one. If you see a blog post out there, look down the bottom, there'll be a bunch of comments, and what's going on there is like a little mini forum about that topic, and if you're commenting on those, you will get known. There'll be links back to your site. It will help with SEO, but it will also help with people knowing you, knowing what you're about, and they'll follow those links back to your website, and that will form a traffic source in its own right. So again, this social media, this is about connecting with individuals, and it's really something that you can outsource components of it, but as the business owner, I really believe you need to be the one that's active on those social networks to encourage people to interact with you. And the fourth part of what your job in terms of traffic is about your network. And when I say network, I could be talking about your network of websites, if you have a network of sites, or maybe just your business network, colleagues, suppliers, maybe affiliates or joint venture partners. There's some people who just have affiliates that sell their products and they hardly promote their own products at all, and it can be a huge traffic source. So your network, your broader network, is something you need to focus on. You need to try and promote your website, get people to go to the website, and that will be a big source of traffic for you as well. So they're basically the components of what it is to be your job in getting traffic to your site. If you want traffic from all those areas, or if you want maximum traffic to your website, then you need to be engaging in those traditional offline methods. You need to be looking at content marketing and setting yourself up as an expert, being active in social media, and then using your network to promote your website and get traffic to your website that way. So that's it for video 2. In video 3, we're going to look at what you can outsource or what you can get some external assistance in terms of generating traffic to your site, and a big chunk of that is search engine optimization. So we'll see you in video 3. Thank you.